So it's all about doing the will of the Heavenly Father, man. And that whole thing with free will, ain't no such thing as no free will. You know, there's no such thing as free will. You do the will of the Heavenly Father, man. There's no such thing as free will, man. I can prove that to you. Because that's a big stumbling block on our people. They thinking they control their own destinies and they control their own lives. There is no free will, man. This is Matthew 26:39. And he went a little farther and fell on his face. I start up 36. Then cometh Yahushua with them out of the place called Gethsemane, and saith unto the disciples, sit ye here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then said he unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful. Why? Because he knew that his time had come to experience that cup of death, man. He knew that his time had came. So he was feeling sorrowful, man. He knew that it was time for them Romans to put him up to persecute him. It says, then said he unto them, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry ye here and watch with me, right? So he knew that his time had come to die. So he was feeling real sorry, man. And he went a little farther and fell on his face, praying, saying, O Father, is it possible, let this cup pass from me? Nevertheless, not as I will, but as thy will. See, the Lord didn't want to experience that persecution that he was finna face, man. You know? He was a regular man when he was here. He didn't want to face that persecution just like nobody else. If somebody tell you they finna kill you and beat you half to death, you ain't gonna want to face that. Just like the Lord telling Peter and the sons of Zebedee, I don't want to really face it. But the key part to it is, he said, nevertheless, not as I will, but as thy will. Because it was up to the Lord, he probably wouldn't have wanted to go face that cup, man. If it was up to him, you know he wouldn't have wanted to face the cup. That's why he said, it's thy will. You know, it's thy will, man. So it's all about the Lord's will, you know. It's all about the Lord's will, man. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah. Come. Say that again.
I said, I thought when you get done, you don't speak.
Con, yeah, brother, I'm speaking, man. You on camera, you might as well give a shalom to the nations.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah.
Con.
Man. Shalom, man.
Con, all right, brother. Shalom.
Give him help.
Shalom. Con, that was a brother from Missouri, man. You know, gave y'all shout out. Y'all about Shem y'all shout out that brother, man. Them beautiful brothers right there, man. They be getting it in, you know, in the spirit. You know, I got much love for them brothers, man. Let's get John 5:30. Because yeah, we're gonna cut this free will thing, man. Because people really think it's free will. They in charge of their own lives, man. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua is in control of everything. This is John 5:30. It says, I can of my own self do nothing. It's written in the red. So Yahushua is saying, I can of my own self do nothing, right? As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I speak not my own will, but the will of the Father which have sent me. Yahushua saying he's speaking the will of the Father, man. Yahweh, who sent him, man. Sent him here to do his will. To preach this gospel, man. And to come down here and fulfill the law, man. Let me get that Matthew. To do the will of the Heavenly Father. And also he says, Matthew 5:17, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. So the Lord didn't come to change none of the laws, man. He come to fulfill the law, which he come to do the law completely. You know, to do it without being out in transgression, man. And that's the will of the Heavenly Father, man. That's the Heavenly Father's will, to have him come down here and do the law completely, right? And then go into that cup, man. You know, for the nation, man. So we could be brought back adopted back to the Father, man. Because the Heavenly Father had fanned his hand at us, man. Mainly the elect, because 2/3 are set up for the destruction, man. He mainly came down here for the 2/3, man. I mean, for the 1/3, the elect, Salakia. And I'll read that to you. This is John 17:9. He said, I pray for them, I pray not for the world. Right? When you look that word world up, it's cosmos. An orderly arrangement. Right? An orderly arrangement governed by statute, laws, and commandments. So he's saying, I ain't praying for I didn't pray for all Israel. I pray for them, but I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. These are the elect, man. These are the elect that the Lord is talking about right here, who came from the foundations of the earth, man. You know, it says, and all are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. The Lord is glorified in us. So these are the elect, man, that the Lord is talking about right here. That came from the foundations, man. I get that too. Ephesians 1:4, according as he hath chosen us in him before the foundations of the world. So before the foundations of the world were created by Yahweh Shai and the angels, the spirits were already chosen. It says, and thou shalt be holy, and without blame you should be separate, right? And without blemish, right? Before him in love, having predestinated us unto the adoption, right? So beforehand, predestinated us unto the adoption of children by Yahweh Shai Mashiach to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, man. The good desires of his will. You know, and that will is to do the will of the Father, man. That's why we come out here week in and week out. That's why you don't see every Jake standing on these corners preaching the truth, man. Because it's only a chosen few. It said it in the scriptures, the chosen, man, from the foundation. You know, just the chosen few, man. Back in John 5. John 5:30. And it says, I can of my own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and I make judgment, and my judgment is just, because I seek not my own will, but the will of the Father which sent me. You know, so hey, that's breaking a stronghold of people believing that you have free will, man. This is just a few scriptures, man. You know, it's a couple more in here. John 6:38. John 6:38. It says, for I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. Right? And that's the same like the elect, man. Every time we were put here on this planet in these bodies, we were put here to do the will of the Heavenly Father, man. You know, and that's to preach the truth. You have people, the 2/3, they were put here to be wicked. That's the will of the Heavenly Father for the 2/3, man. You know? John 1 and it's 1 and 13. John 1:13, which were born not of blood, nor of the will of flesh, nor of the will of man, but of the Most High. So we were born through the will of the Most High, man. Because the Most High don't have to send your spirit down here through a body, man. He don't have to if you don't want to. It's his will. And you're going to do the will, whatever he sent you down here to do. You know? As we was explaining, two-thirds are doing the will, but two-thirds are not doing the righteous will of the Heavenly Father. They're on the left-hand side doing wickedness, man. And they're going to be punished for that. This is Zechariah 13:8. And it says, and it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. And that land is talking about here in America, man. Because this is Babylon. Coming from the word Babal, meaning confusion, man. This is the spiritual Egypt. Right? This is Babylon, man. Because there's all kind of confusion that's going on in this place, man. Unrighteous decrees. You have men dressing as women, women dressing as men. They're changing their sexes. You know, they even got kids now, transgender 6 and 7-year-olds, man. That's wickedness, man. And that wickedness, man, gonna be stopped, man, by the power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Thermonuclear destruction, man. That's way past wicked, man. You know? And it says, 2 parts there shall be cut off and die, man, by the thermonuclear destruction. 2 parts, 66.6% of our people, this nation, is gonna be cut off, man. You know, 66.6%, man. That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people. You know? And they're gonna be cut off, man. And it says, and I will bring the 1/3 through the fire and will refine them as silver is refined. He's gonna bring the 1/3 through the fire. The 1/3 are gonna come through that fire of thermonuclear destruction. He gonna basically save them, man. Through the fire, man. Through the fiery trials that are being persecuted by the heads of this government. Because persecution is gonna come upon the elect, man. He's gonna bring us through all those fiery trials, man. The fiery trials of coming out here in the inclement weathers, in season and out of season. You know, brothers have physical health problems. Then you have to deal with your family. When you come out here week in and week out, you studying. They might feel like they're not getting the attention that they're needed, that's due to them. You know? And they feel that way. You know? And then they start complaining, man. Constantly. That's a fiery trial within itself. Going out here on these jobs, man. The modern day slavery, going out here on these jobs, working for pennies, man. That's a fiery trial. And not making enough money to pay rent and bills and keep your refrigerator or enough food to last you a month. Good healthy food at that. You can't even buy healthy food, you gotta buy garbage, man. That's a fiery trial within itself, man. And the Lord is gonna bring us through them fiery trials, man. You know? Let's get one right here. This is Matthew 5:10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, man. So blessed are those that are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Like I said, being persecuted by your families, by this government. You get harassed by the police, man. Just this whole court system itself. When Jake go to court, you know, you go to court for something, you bound to leave with a felony. If it's anything close to prison time, they might even send you to jail for 30 days. You know? It says, blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. like these jobs I was saying, you go out on these